Good day, girls. Today we are going to begin with a new topic in geography, that is structure of ocean floor, chapter number 4. Now, before we begin, let us understand exactly what is ocean floor. Ocean floor is the land submerged below oceanic water. Now, today in this topic, we are going to study about the structure of the ocean floor. We all know about the oceans, the aquatic animals, the four different types of oceans that we have: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, as well as we have the southern seas or the southern ocean. Okay, now, but we don't know what the structure is like. Like, for example, on land, we know the physical features of land. We have hills, we have valleys, we have mountains, we have rivers, ponds, sea. But what about the land deep down the water? Have you ever imagined about it? On page number 24 in your textbook, you have the diagram, which is 4.1 figure, where you have the various landforms. Okay, of course I am going to teach you those also. We are going to discuss about them also. But before that, let's begin with the chapter and understand the basic thing first. Based on that, one aspect revolves your entire topic. So that is, can you tell, on page number 24, we are given 4 points. Based on these 4 points, we have to select the correct option from the remaining 4 points. Now, what are the first 4 points? The first 4 points are: continents and oceans are a part of the lithosphere and hydrosphere respectively. Do we agree with this? Yes, because oceans form the hydrosphere and continents are included in the lithosphere. Continents and oceans lie on plates. Now, what are plates? These are not food plates. There are 6 major types of plates on which we have the different continents. Our Earth's crust is a form of a plate, and on that plate we have these different continents. And how many plates do we have? In such, we have 6 plates. We know the history of the planet Earth, that the land started getting bifurcated as, or you can say it started expanding as the years were passing by, due to certain changes that took place on our planet Earth. And this gave rise to the different continents, and these continents are on those plates. Third one, during low tides, the level of ocean water goes down, and the land below the water near the coast is exposed. Do we agree with this? Yes, to certain extent. I will explain you why it happens, which actually the base of this is in your 7th standard geography. Shipwreck, when they strike against the rocks in the ocean. Now, these are the 4 points. Based on this, we have to select 1 point, as I told you, from the next one. So, let's first clarify these 4 points. First one, continents and oceans are a part of lithosphere and hydrosphere. As we know, 1/3 of the part of the planet Earth is occupied by land, and 2/3 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. Now, this land consists of continent, which is a continuous stretch of land. The land on the Earth is divided into 7 continents, and we all know which 7 continents I am talking about. Now, these 2/3 of the surface of the Earth, which is covered with water, there are 5 oceans which are included: Arctic, Atlantic, Pacific, Southern Ocean, and Indian Ocean. Now, continents and ocean lie on the plates? Yes, because the Earth's crust is made up of such plates, and there are 6 major plates, as I told you, namely Eurasian plate, Indian Australian plate, American plate, Pacific plate, African plate, and Antarctic plate. Now, these are not the continents. They are the plates on which we find the continents. Now, during low tide, the level of oxygen water goes down and the land below the water near the coast is exposed. Now, why this happen? We know that how a low tide and high tide occurs. The water, or you can say that the lowering of the sea level is called as a low tide. The water level, when it goes down, it is called as a low tide. Now, why it occurs? It occurs in the area where the sea water shifted to the areas experiencing high tide. So, because of the gravitational and the centrifugal force which acts, the water from the lower level goes to the high tide. It is attracted towards the high tide, and the same phenomena occurs which we have seen after every 12 hours. Okay. Ships wreck when they strike against the rocks in the ocean. Sometimes in the ocean there are rocks which are invisible above the sea level. Due to this, the ships wreck when they strike against the rock in the ocean. Example was Costa Concordia, which was capsized at Gigligo Island on January 13, 2012, and which also resulted in 32 deaths. So you can just go or Google it out about this ship wreck. It was one of the recent one. Now, based on this, if the above points are correct, then select the most appropriate option from the following. First, the surface of the earth is occupied by land and water. Second, there is land below the ocean too. Third, even if the water has the same level, the land submerged is not even. Fourth, the level of water and land is uneven. Now, based on the above 4 points, the one which is appropriate over here is the third one. That is, even if the water has the same level, the land submerged is not even. Geographical explanation. We know that the proportion of water and land is uneven on the earth. Around 71% of the surface is covered by water, but there is land even below this water. But like water, it is not at the same level. It is not a straight surface. There are ups and downs, there are mountains, there are hills submerged in water as well. We classify the various landforms on the earth on the basis of altitude, that is height. A similar classification can be done from landforms which is submerged under the water. So basically, we don't have to do anything above the land. What we are going to study in this is underneath, or you can say underneath the water. The figure is on page number 24 of your textbook. The first one, if you see, first, second and third are the landforms on the land, that is mountains, plateau, coastal plain. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the landforms in the water. Of this, the fourth one is the continental slope, fifth, marine trench, sixth, abyssal plain. Now, what is abyssal plain? Abyssal plain is a flat part of the seabed lying beyond the continental slope. Just below the continental slope, which is a slopy area, it's called as abyssal plain. It consists of various submerged landforms like hills, plateaus, etc. Seventh one is a marine island. Eighth is the mid-oceanic submerged hill. So, can you tell the first one is already been answered? Next one. What are the parameters used for classifying the landform on the earth? Parameters means you can say unit, or you can say with what respect is the landform with what respect or what is used to classify the landforms on the earth? Of course, on the earth it is basis on the altitude or on the height. Mountains in meters, hills in meters, plateaus in meters, etc. Then what parameters are used for naming the landforms below the water? What do you think? Yes, it depends upon the depth of the ocean floor. Below the sea level what we talk, and on the shape of the land, whether it's a plateau, whether it's a trench, whether it's a slope, everything in meters. Okay, so let's proceed with the first part of the actual what we are going to study is the relief of the ocean floor. Now the land, I have already told you what is an ocean floor. It's a land submerged below oceanic water. Now the relief of the ocean floor is decided upon by the depth of the sea floor and the shape of the land there. The average depth of the ocean is around 3,700 meters. The ocean bed is also uneven like the land on the continent. The ocean floor relief consists of all submerged land forms. The structure of the ocean floor differs from ocean to ocean. It's not same in every ocean. We will look at the sequence of the landforms and the details of major landforms on the ocean floor. As we go away from the coast, the structure of the ocean floor changes. Study the explanation below and figure 4.2 together. So basically the landforms what we are going to study of the ocean relief, they are the continental shelf, continental slope, marine island, mid-oceanic ridges, and also abyssal plain and marine trench, which is not labeled in this. So we are going to study basically about continental shelf, continental slope, abyssal plain, the mountain ranges and the plateaus in the on the ocean relief, marine deep and marine trenches. So let's begin with the continental shelf. The land near the coast and the submerged under the sea is called as continental shelf. This is the shallowest part of the ocean bed and it is also called as submerged coastal land. Its slope is gentle. You can say it is a shallow part where fishing is carried out on a large scale. The extent of the continental shelf is not uniform everywhere. It is narrow along the coast of some continent while it is broad for hundreds of kilometers at the other. Its depth is up to 200 meters below the sea level. The continental shelf is very important from the point of view of humans because lot of activities can be carried out on the continental shelf. Extensive fishing grounds are found in the continental shelf. As this part is shallow, the sunlight reaches its bed. Algae, planktons, etc. grow here. This is food for fish and that's why you find a lot of fishes in the continental shelf. Natural gas, mineral oil and various minerals can be obtained by mining the continental shelf. The best example is just when you stand at the gateway, deep inside, or when you go to Elephanta Caves, you can see this, that is the Mumbai High located on the continental shelf of the Arabian Sea. It is a source from where we obtain mineral oil and natural gas. The second is the continental slope, which is a steep slope. After the extent of continental shelf is over, the slope of the seabed becomes steeper. This is called as continental slope. The depth of the slope is from 200 meter to 3600 meters. In some places it is more. The continental slope is narrow. The lower boundary of the continental slope is considered to be the boundary of the continent. So where the continental shelf where the continental slope ends, that is the boundary of the continent of a specific continent. The next is abyssal plain. Beyond the continental slope lies the abyssal plains, which are the flat part of the seabed. The abyssal plain consists of various submerged landforms like hills and plateaus. So we studied about 3 ocean relief today, that is the continental shelf, continental slope and abyssal plain. In the next video, we are going to study about the mountain ranges and plateaus, marine deeps and marine trenches, and also about marine deposition. Thank you.